Wednesday, hump day, and it's weather for Weather Geeks time. Just pretty much a perfect summer day today by my, in my book, an 80-degree high with low humidity and plenty of sunshine. That's about as good as it gets. One of the reasons why I love this time of the year. I love late May and June. Yes, you can have some rain, you can have some severe weather, but also you have days like this that you don't see as often later in the summer. Days with dew points on the lower side, we don't see those very often as we go into late June and into July. In the meantime, we have had this wildfire smoke occasionally in our atmosphere, and while it's been fairly thin over the last 24 hours or so, it thickened up a little bit last night and made for, pretty vivid full moon, especially at moonrise last evening, moon set this morning. This is a time lapse I captured from our fairgrounds camera showing the moon setting this morning. Nice and colorful. Thanks to everyone who sent us some pictures of the full moon. And we got a lot of really quality pictures last night. Just a reminder, you can submit weather pictures to us anytime via email, weatherpics, PICS, at WFMJ.com. You can also submit them right on the Storm Tracker 21 app, whether you use an Android device, a Samsung, something like that, or you use an Apple iPhone. The Storm Tracker 21 app is the best weather app, in my humble opinion, for our area. And if you just scroll down, of course, you'll find the little button that says Submit Photos. You can take the picture and submit it to us right on the app. All right, today was a little bit warmer than the average. Now, for the month as a whole, we're about a third of the way through June, and temperatures are still a little below average for the most part in terms of our first 10 days or so of the month. But that number is going to change, as I don't see much cool weather coming our way anytime real soon. Today's numbers officially at the airport. Now, our average high on today's date, 78. Our high today at 4 p.m., 80 degrees. So, a low of 53, a high of 80. Pretty textbook stuff for the 11th day of June. The records today, 94 back in 1933. At 30 in 1972, I believe that's the latest freeze on record for our area. Very late. June 11th is really late for a sub 32 degree temperature, but we had that on today's date back in 1972. Other regional highs today up at Hopkins Airport in Cleveland, 83 degrees. Pittsburgh International Airport, 81. Wheeling was 80, and New Philly was 81 this afternoon. All right, as we go through the next couple of days, we will see some changes, especially by Friday and the weekend, but Thursday pretty much status quo. A little warmer, a little more humid. This front's going to kind of lay out across northeast Ohio and northwest PA. And with this front in the vicinity, some of our weather modeling, let me back this up. Some of our weather modeling kind of wants to insist on a renegade shower on the prowl towards the end of the afternoon, early in the evening. We might stick this into our official forecast this evening. We'll take a look at some of the latest model data this evening, but I guess I wouldn't be shocked if someone sees a quick renegade shower late in the afternoon, early in the evening on our Thursday. But for the most part, Thursday is, of course, a winner. Now, as we head into Friday and the weekend, unfortunately, again, we're talking about elevated rain chances. We'll get off to a dry start most likely Friday morning, but in the afternoon, it's not all the rain in the world, but someone's going to pick up a quick thunderstorm, and some of us might see a shower here and there afternoon into Friday evening. Better rain chances, though, as we head into the upcoming weekend. With today's excessive rain outlook or flash flood risk, the Weather Prediction Center, that's WPC, that's part of NOAA, part of the National Weather Service, with their Day 4 outlook for Saturday, low-end risk of flash flooding in much of kind of the southern half of Ohio and a lot of Pennsylvania. That's where probably the highest risk is for there to be some localized flooding problems. That being said, it's not going to surprise me if we have some pretty tropical downpours in any more ambitious shower or storm, especially in the afternoon on Saturday. There could be some localized flooding problems, especially around area rivers and creeks. They might just start to run a little bit high. Same idea Sunday, maybe a little bit farther to the south, that flash flood risk on Sunday. And Sunday's forecast overall for Father's Day remains a little bit in flux in terms of how does Sunday compare to Saturday. I still think Saturday is a pretty active day, especially as we get into the afternoon. Now Sunday, I think there still can be some wet weather, but the highest chance may be in areas south and east of Youngstown, or maybe south of the Turnpike, or something like that. We're not going to eliminate the rain chance anywhere at this point, but your highest odds of some annoying showers and storms for Father's Day, maybe the closer you are to I-70 and closer you are to Pittsburgh. In the meantime, the weekend forecast overall looks like this: 77 Saturday and 78 on Sunday. We'll spend the weekend with highs in the 70s, but I think we bounce back into the lower 80s next week. It's not going to surprise you if you've been watching Weather for Weather Geeks lately that I think this is a pretty locked-in summer pattern for a while. I don't see any sort of unusually cool June weather heading our way anytime real soon. In fact, this is today's 8 to 14 day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, and I like what they have here. Pretty good odds of a warmer than average outcome during that second and third and heading into the fourth week of June. I just don't see much of a large-scale pattern change anytime real soon. So we had that cool, clammy stretch to get through in May, and we've had annoying rain, especially on the weekends over the last few weeks. But one thing for sure, we're seeing a pretty warm June pattern locking in. I think it's going to be with us for much of the rest of the month. Make it a great Wednesday night. I'll see you back here on Thursday for the latest edition of Weather for Weather Geeks.